Welcome back. I'm your host, Davia, and today we are here with author and counselor Heather W. Cobham, and she's here to tell us all about her inspiring and empowering women-focused books. Thank you so much for being with us, Heather.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So can you please tell us what inspired your journey into writing as a career?
Well, I have always loved to write. As a young child, I wrote poetry, short stories, and things like that. And I always knew I wanted to write a book. And so I just kept journaling, kept writing, and then it happened when we moved down to Oriental in Pamlico County, not far from here. And the inspiration got stronger, and so I decided to follow through. And so part of it is just that internal desire to be creative and to write. And the other part that inspired me to start my writing is my other career as a mental health counselor. And I thought I would be writing a nonfiction book, but then I thought it would be a lot more fun to share some of the messages I wanted to in fiction. And so my hope is that people also take away some positive coping skills and things like that from reading my novels. So it's kind of twofold what got me inspired.
That's amazing. And so I know like the message behind your books is like about women finding strength and wisdom in like a southern coastal setting, specifically Oriental. Mm-hmm. What inspires you to make that your message and like the location for your books?
Okay, well I'll start with the location part.
Yeah.
When my husband and I were living in Raleigh, and I grew up in North Carolina, in Clinton, North Carolina. But when we got to Oriental, well, one of my characters in my new book says, it felt like a piece of the puzzle, you know, the last piece of the puzzle that you just put it into place. That's how I felt when I got to Oriental. And so that location was very healing to me and calming and inspiring. And so it just made sense.
That's amazing. Okay. What advice would you give to aspiring authors?
Keep writing and don't give up on yourself. I think the biggest thing I've learned, it took me 7 years to write my first book. I was working a full-time job at that time, but I would stop for months at a time because I thought, this is dumb. Nobody wants to read my book. Who do I think I am writing a book? And then I would go back and do it again, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but I've learned over time to just, that voice doesn't totally go away, but just to set it to the side. And if you have that calling and you have a story that's churning, just tap into it and don't doubt yourself. And keep moving forward. One of my mentors for writing, she said, if you have the inspiration to write something, there's at least one person that needs to hear it. Yeah. So we might not, I might not be living in a mansion like Nicholas Sparks up in New Bern, but the touching 1 or 2 or 3 or 100 people's lives, that is worth everything.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and so whether it's 1 or 1,000,000, I think we all have a obligation to follow through on those inspirations that are inside us. So
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So please
Awesome.
Keep writing if that's your dream.
Awesome. Where can people go if they want to purchase your books or learn more about you?
Sure. I have a website, which is www.heathercobham.com, and you can learn more about me and my novels, as well as book club questions, things like that. And they're for sale, the autographed copies.
Okay.
They're also available at the Next Chapter bookstore in New Bern and on Amazon.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Heather, for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to be here.